All right, welcome back to Missing Persons TV. I'm Brian Ladd. My co-host Deborah has the day off. Today is Wednesday, August 12th, 2009, 10:30 p.m. Tonight we're not going to be discussing any cases. I had some cases to do last night. I did not get them done. I should have them done tomorrow, but I do have a guest. This is Gale St. John on the phone with me. Gale, are you there?
Yep, I sure am. Hi.
Hi, how you been doing?
Good, real good.
We haven't had you on in a while. I know you've been busy working a lot of cases. You just got back. You have plans to go to Florida pretty soon again, don't you?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do. And just been doing some exciting stuff.
Okay. Everybody knows that there'll be a new TV show coming out pretty soon, starring you. And I know you've been doing a lot of work on missing person cases and trying to promote missing person cases. And a week or so ago, we had an idea about. Actually, it wasn't really an idea at the time. It was kind of like we were just joking around. But you want to explain what we were talking about?
Well, I'm always trying to find ways and do things to help missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important to me. And so many times it kind of gets brushed away and nobody pays attention to missing persons. You and I both know how the struggle is to keep it in the forefront
Yes.
of everyone's mind. So I'm actually going to be taking tandem skydiving lessons, and from there, once I do the tandem skydive, I'm going to go into the accelerated free fall classes and take the instructions there. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I actually I'm going to basically skydive for missing persons.
Okay.
I want to bring this to the attention of people, and this is kind of my way of saying, hey, this is really how far I'll go to help missing persons. My life is devoted to this.
Okay. Now I know we talked about before, like doing your blind drive. This would, we were going to do a blind fly where we fly over a certain area where we thought a person may be located, and if you were to get some type of psychic feelings, we were going to, mark that on the GPS as a waypoint and come back to that area on the ground. But this is definitely a little bit different. It's funny in a way, but if you think about it, I mean, this really shows that you are dedicated to finding missing people.
And right along with Brian, I know that you're very dedicated too. We've both been very, very dedicated people for missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, we both work free, and we've always worked free.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is a misunderstood thing that, people think that we charge for our services. We don't charge for our services. The only thing I want to continue to do is make sure that I keep missing persons going here, especially in the U.S.,
mm-hmm.
to a point where people are seeing it and knowing and realizing how many people we have missing. And by doing this, I hope to bring attention to missing persons.
Okay, so you're going to be known as the skydiving psychic. How do you feel about that? I mean, there is a singing psychic. A skydiving psychic is definitely something I've never heard before in my life, and I think it's absolutely a wonderful idea. It sounds absolutely crazy and nuts, but if anybody's going to do it, that would be you. I'm not saying you're crazy or nuts. Well, maybe you are.
Persons, and I know that this is really, this is important, and if I can bring this out, this attention to missing persons, then that's what I need to do.
Okay, and, so let's take for an example.
Doing a blind fly is an amazing thing.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. I've been with you on blind drives, and I think I brought up the idea. Well, why not? I'm a private pilot. As long as we don't do anything commercial, I can fly you around all day long.
And I think it's so important that you and I begin our blind fly and begin doing these things very soon.
At the point where I said, well, Gail, if you get a feeling, I meant, to mark the point on the GPS or the map, not just to literally jump out of the airplane. So that's taking it little beyond or above and beyond the Call of Duty.
No, never.
But that's
never
definitely that would definitely be something people would like to see. I could just see this right now. Brian, I'm getting a feeling It's like, okay, Gail, let me mark it. And I look over, and you're already out the door. I think everybody would tune in to see that. And most people would laugh, and we're laughing right now. But in reality, it would bring attention to missing people.
There's nothing that I wouldn't do to help missing persons. I mean, Brian, you ought to try it. You ought to jump with me.
Okay, here's the deal. Now, I spent 12 years in the military active. I've worked with the 82nd Airborne. I was in artillery. I've done load planned aircraft. I've done sling loads. I've done a lot of stuff dealing with aircraft and people jumping out of aircraft, but I've never jumped out of an airplane. Now, my dad's retired Air Force. He flew bombers in Vietnam. He's jumped, but I'm known as a leg. A leg means basically you haven't jumped out of an airplane.
Well, then it's about time you do it.
I've seen cargo do it. I've seen, but you know what? Yeah, I will do it. If you want me to do it, I'll definitely do it. I'm not scared of that.
I'd love to have you do it with me because I'd like to have the support from you and I both to do this.
There's one issue though. If I'm your pilot, right, and you jump out, right, and then I jump out, we might have issues.
Somebody got to fly the plane. We don't have a problem, man.
Exactly. Well, one other thing. I've never had anybody jump out of an airplane, and in being a professional pilot, and I think I am, I would never do something like that without a lot of training. So. We would leave that to an expert, I think, and have somebody else do the...
We'll get a pilot. If you're willing to jump with me
Sure.
and show your support for missing persons,
sure.
I'd love that.
That's not a problem. This is actually a really good idea, I think. Let's for example the Jennifer Kessie case. We're flying low. Legally we're flying. Let's say 1,000 feet. Well, that's a little low to be jumping. It probably 3,000 or 4,000 feet. Over an area you suspect Jennifer Kessie may be. If you get that feeling, and it's an area that's not residential, and you're able to jump, go for it.
Accelerated free fall, and have to see how the permissions are.
Well, the higher you go, the more time you have to free fall, and the more time you have to actually steer to wherever you're thinking.
Right. I can complete my course, weather permitting, of course. And so can you. In 3 to 5 days.
Oh yeah. You should do a couple tandem jumps. I don't know how many you're supposed to have.
Right.
And then I'm sure we have a lot of people that are listening that are skydiving experts. We'd like to hear from you, but
Well, yeah, because they're saying 7 to 10 jumps.
Right.
My thought is, and you know how I think about missing persons, and like I said, we've done this free for years, you and I both. Before we teamed up and after we teamed up together, we've continued to put our efforts out to find missing persons free of charge. And to me, the more you and I can keep this out in public eye and get people to realize how many missing persons we have, the better off these families will be, and the more we can help these families.
Okay, let's do it. One question though, what about the search dog?
I don't think he's going to like the free fall, but if I thought I could do it, I'd go ahead if they said that I could do the dog.
So throw the dog out first, and then you go.
I guess I'd have to ask him at the Lake Wales, Florida Skydiving Center where I'm going to be at. I'd have to ask him.
Okay, I know we're joking about the dog, but I think this is definitely a good idea. I'm willing to do it if you are. I guess they'll be calling you the skydiving psychic. And I think it's a great way to promote missing people. And I think it's a really good idea. And once again, it shows how far you'll go to actually search for missing people. And even if we could put maybe put a banner on you as you're flying down there with somebody's name on it or something. I don't know how about safety regulations or anything, but I think everybody gets the point.
Wearing a T-shirt of missing persons, So.
Okay, right. Happy landing. And I think it's a great idea, Gail. I want to thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. I'm going to be video now. If you're going to jump with me, we're going to have a videographer with us.
Okay. So but we're out of time. We're out of time, Gail. But thank you. I'll be on tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, and this is a really good idea. And if you want to see more, go to psychicgale.com. Good night.